John, I saw your press release. You answered some of these questions, but when you look at what Sean Monahan brings to your lineup in your dressing room, what sort of things excite you about that signing?
Well, we've talked all since I've been here about adding leadership to our group, and along with leadership, add a potential of a top forward, and I think we accomplished both in being able to sign Sean. He's a first line centerman, a great history, and he also he's worded letters in different places he's been. So I think what we set out to do today, we accomplished.
How much did it factor in with his relationship to Johnny Gaudreau and in the past in Calgary?
It's interesting because at 12:02 today, Mike Priest and I both talked to Sean, and he said Columbus has been a destination for his all along. Obviously having Johnny here to be able to play with, but all along he said, this is a benefit for me to have Johnny here, but that's not why I came here. I wanted. He's got a newborn baby. He's heard so much about Columbus, and he wants to set up his home here. And that's always encouraging to hear. And I've said since I've been here that this is a great place to live, and you see all the ex-players that have come back here, which shows it. And you got a lot of players that are putting stakes up here. So I think there's a combination, but I think most importantly, he wanted to be in Columbus.
Now you got a couple of really young centers that have started their careers at center ice, Sillinger and Fantilli. How do you envision Monahan fitting into that depth, and does this allow you to maybe put Boone Jenner on the wing?
Yeah, 100%. It gives us a lot of flexibility. I think Sean probably jumps right in that number one spot, and then I think Adam falls right behind them, and then whether we keep Boone in the middle or Silly, then those are great options for us as we move forward. Down the middle is the strength of your hockey team, so. We want to be, really good, which I think we have really set up to have success with that middle. And then you add curls in there. So I think down the middle we're going to be very strong.
One of the areas when you look at the roster that you guys were kind of deep in was maybe depth defenseman. Jake Bean's obviously gone, and a couple other guys. I think there's 4 NHL defensemen on the roster right now. Christensen, not counting him. Are you looking at maybe adding either through free agency or something else to that, or do you kind of feel pretty confident with what else is left in the system?
I think we're very comfortable with what's in the system. Juracek, played games here last year, had a great run in the playoffs in Cleveland. We want to make sure we give him an opportunity. We'll probably add at least one more guy to the depth of the team, but when you got Rensky and Goody and Severson and Provolov right there, I mean that's a pretty good start. So at some point when the young players are ready, we want to make sure we give them that opportunity. Just because they turn pro doesn't mean they're ready to play the NHL, but in Juracek's case, he's played some games here and he's played in the American League, so I think he deserves an opportunity. He's got to earn it when he comes to camp.
I'm sure your scouts and development guys have told you about Denton Matejchuk. How do you handle him in training camp, and is he maybe different than Juracek, or do you allow for the possibility of him stepping right in?
I watched him in Cleveland in his first game there, actually, and I was very impressed when he first came up there because he's very poised, and you can see his hockey sense is off the charts, and the way he passes the puck is like an NHL player. Saying that, I'm pretty strict about making sure we do the right thing with these young players because I've seen a lot of young players break in the NHL too quickly and be out of the NHL in 3 years. So we want to make sure we handle them right. We'll come to camp and we'll see how how he looks and how we feel about our team. And it's not so bad if he starts the year in the American League. But saying that, a lot can happen between now and September, and we'll see where we're at that point.
Any update to give on Patrick Laine?
Nothing new. I wish I had something to report. Nothing new. I continued to talk to his representation, Andy Scott, just about, he's still in the program, and, we keep saying that any day he's going to be out, but that's pretty much my update.
Don, you've gotten a lot of work done since Friday. Has this just been a matter of you just checking the boxes and checking things off your to-do list? And when do you get time to take a breath?
Well, like I said, a couple weeks ago about the coaching search, I said, we're the only team in the NHL looking for a coach. The coaches that are there today are going to be there tomorrow. Well, we know the draft's coming up. We know free agency's coming up. Those are a priority because we're not the league's not going to let us move the draft because I'm not ready for it. So we had to make sure we were prepared for it. So, yeah, it's been busy. It's going to continue to be busy. We're in the midst of starting to interview coaches. So hopefully here in the next while we'll get that resolved. Again, no tight timetable on it. We got Canada Day today and July 4th this week, so makes it maybe a little difficult for people traveling that. But it's the busiest is good. I mean, it beats the alternative, that's for sure. So there's nothing wrong with staying right here 100 yards from the arena where I live and be able to walk to work every day.
I know you were asked about how big an impact Gaudreau's presence here had on Monahan, but have you heard from Johnny in the wake of the signing? Have you already talked with him?
I have not heard yet. I think some people on my staff have heard, but I personally have not heard. I'm sure probably being the day in time I will hear from him, but I think he's excited.
In the process of signing Sean, curious, did the coaching search come up at all? I mean, I'm sure was that discussed, and is that something that maybe other agents, if you're targeting guys, they're going to want to know about?
No, it did not particular, but his agent asked me about it today after I talked to Sean at about 12:30 or so, and what I said before, everybody's read that we're going to hire an experienced NHL coach, somebody that's done this before, and that's what he conveyed to Sean. It's not going to be a first-year NHL coach. It's certainly going to be somebody with NHL experience.
Did they try to get names from you?
Everybody tries to get names from me. My wife even tries to get names from me. It's just not happening. Thank you, everybody, for coming out here today.